Ted Cheeseman, current British champion, who now was just sporting icons.
So what a great fight that was between Ted Cheeseman and Sam Eggington. That fight did not go the way that I thought it was going to go. Outside of the result, I fully thought that Ted Cheeseman would win this one, but I thought that he'd win it pretty dominantly, to be honest with you. But listen, Sam Eggington, he always comes to fight. He's very game. Ted Cheeseman, of course, he's had some bad luck over like the last couple of fights. Especially the last one against Scott Fitzgerald. Anyway, this one was for the IBF Super Welterweight title. International, that is, of course, not world title. Now, this was a fight that both of these guys took way too much punishment. Way too much punishment. Both of these guys are going to feel it tomorrow and the next couple of days, that is for sure. Both of them could be looking in the mirror tomorrow morning like, is that really me? Because both of these guys took absolutely massive bombs. Both of them got hurt in this one as well. The way that it started, I thought that Ted Cheeseman, in round number one, he was holding it very well. Of course, round number one, you can never read too much into it, but Ted, you could kind of see what his game plan was, which was he wasn't just going to be where in some fights he's just coming forward. In other fights, like the Scott Fitzgerald one, he was on the back foot being the pure boxer. And this one, he would mix it up a bit. And you can kind of get a sense of that in round number one. In round number two, he hurt Eggington, and I thought he was about to finish him off. But it is what it is. Sam Eggington, tough as old boots, that is for sure. Now, for me, I gave Ted Cheeseman the next couple of rounds after that. And it wasn't until round 6, I would say, that Sam Eggington really started to come into it. When Sam Eggington, he landed a big shot on Ted Cheeseman. I think it was a right hook, and it busted the nose of Ted Cheeseman. I mean, I won't be at all surprised if his nose is broken. But from that moment on, Sam Eggington was starting to tot up the rounds. He was getting more confident. He was actually enjoying himself, like he'd figured Ted Cheeseman out. But Ted, of course, he was still in the fight. It's not like the rounds that I gave Sam Eggington were clear-cut Sam Eggington rounds, not at all. Much like some of the Ted Cheeseman rounds were not clear-cut Ted Cheeseman rounds. But it was a very good fight. Both guys would stand in the middle of the ring and just trade with each other at times. It was very good. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch. I've got to be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing the rematch at all. Now, it got a little bit nervy for me, obviously because I know Ted Cheeseman personally, but I thought that Sam Eggington, he was landing some pretty good shots, and we've never really seen Ted Cheeseman hurt before. On 2 occasions in this fight, it looked like he was hurt. We've always known with Sam Eggington, very big puncher. He carries some pretty good power, and of course, with him moving up to super welterweight from welter, I would fully expect him to be a little bit more powerful. And to go toe-to-toe with Sam Eggington, I thought was a bit of a risky move. That's for sure. But there again, I mean, I suppose you could look at it and say it's a risky move for both of these guys, because both of these guys, they do carry knockout power. So if these guys were to continue doing that, someone was going to get knocked out. Who that was is no idea, but it does appear that Ted Cheeseman has the better chin than Sam Eggington. Now, as I said, in round number 6, Ted Cheeseman's nose got busted, and it looked like it was bothering him a little bit in round 7 and round 8 as well. But from round 9, everything seemed to be okay. It wasn't bleeding so much after then. And Teddy, he was just using his range. He was dancing in and out, and he was getting confident again, where I felt that Ted, he knew that he had this fight in the bag. And it was just about going the distance, because not like Ted was throwing big bomb after big bomb, not at all. Very good body shots. In fact, he was eating a few good body shots as well. But I thought that Ted, he was just landing more. There were little tip-tap shots. There weren't enough to hurt Sam Eggington, but there were enough to get his attention, to have to put his guard up. With Sam Eggington, doesn't always put his guard up. In fact, Ted Cheeseman, his defence was pretty good today, really, all things considered. Again, not always with Ted Cheeseman is his defence paramount for him. But quite clearly, he had enough respect for Sam Eggington to know that he can hurt him. And in fact, he hurt him in round 10. I want to say round 10. It may have been round 9. Where Sam Eggington was up against the ropes. Ted Cheeseman was tip-tapping him, went to throw a big shot, and he caught one back. And Ted had a look on his face like, what the hell just happened? And again, Sam Eggington done very well. Very well. For me, I mean, I had Ted Cheeseman winning this fight 8 rounds to 4, but as I said, a couple of rounds, they could have been swingers, so I wouldn't argue too much if he gave a round or two more to Sam Eggington. But either way, I think that Ted Cheeseman is the rightful winner. I mean, he did get hurt in round number 12. It looked like that Sam Eggington may well have capitalised and finished Ted off in the 12th round, but Ted fired back and he hurt Sam Eggington back. So very, very good fight. Is this the fight of the year? Maybe, I don't know. But of course, without crowd, obviously the atmosphere isn't quite what it would normally be. But it's a very, very good fight. This fight turned out to be a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. In fact, I fully expected Ted Cheeseman to punch him upside down at times. Really, I did. But either way, very, very good fight. Ted Cheeseman, he wins this fight officially. All 3 judges gave it to Ted Cheeseman, which is fantastic. I was starting to wonder if there was a bit of a conspiracy against Ted Cheeseman, the way that the judges on the Sky Sports shows were starting to go. But he gets a decision. Sam Eggington didn't look too happy about it, but I think when he watches it back, he can't grumble too much. I think he gave away too many of the early rounds. But anyway, it is what it is. Ted Cheeseman and the new IBF International Super Welterweight Champion. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe, catch you all in the next video.